Hey everybody, it's Dr. Erinn Harris Internal Medicine here for another video blog for my vitiligo healing journey. So I think this is week number 13. I'm not really sure, but I'll look on my past. I think it is week number 13. And so you guys can see that I look like I've been out in the sun and I have like it's just it looks so weird to me because I look like I have a suntan but don't. Or my mom's looking at me, and I did a video previously and she was like, do you have makeup on? She's like, what's going on? So it's really interesting because actually that's what I'm going to do my video on the day is makeup. So makeup for vitiligo, I thought we would, not I think this would be a kind of fun video. It's not just all educational and all medicine, because of course I I still do and used to use a lot of makeup before when I was losing color. So and this is the first kind of video series that, well, no, the very first one I did was about a year ago, but this is really this video series that I've done where I haven't had a full makeup, makeup on to camouflage my spots. So let's kind of start off how we usually start off and see my progress. And I guess you guys really don't need to see much, but you can really see that this area is almost filled in. This area is totally filled in. Um, this all used to be white. If you can see uh, my videos before, all of this was white, and my eyes definitely were lower here. So this is almost filled in. This, I think it was probably as low as this, but it looks like this is all filling in now. My eyelids still haven't filled in, but above my eyes almost filled in and below my eyes almost filled in, if you can kind of see this. So I have a feeling my chin is almost done. It's almost wrapping up here in my face. And so I wanted to, oh, and my ears, or you can kind of see how it's starting to fill in. My ears used to be all white, folks. So my ears are, you can see on the inside how they're filling in. Gonna get the camera in there. And also on that side, my ears are filling in. And let me tilt the camera a little bit here. You can kind of see my chest. Definitely starting to fill in. Um, I don't usually show my arms, but you can start to see those spots on my arms. It's kind of hard to see those, but it's I can't really show you because it's not my sleeves, but my arms are starting to fill in more at the top here, and down on my thighs are starting to fill in. So once my face fills in, probably what I'll do is just kind of, you know, do a video where I'm kind of doing, but my hands actually, they said sometimes hands are difficult to fill in, but my hands really haven't filled in that much. So, so I want to kind of go over makeup. This will be a kind of light, fun video, no heavy learning stuff for you guys to all remember. And I just want to do the makeup that I usually use or I have used in the past and kind of what works for me and what didn't work for me. So, just the makeup that I use mainly for cover up is a Dermablend. You guys can kind of see this. I'll go in a little bit. Dermablend is the overall makeup that I would use. Dermablend is really good for when you have a large kind of spaces of white, when you need a large amount of coverage. Like Dermablend would be really good for this. So maybe we can test it on this area. I'll probably put some Dermablend here and I'll do two different types. But I'll definitely put it on the larger areas of my skin. So I usually use a primer before I use a really good primer before I put my Dermablend on. And I have the Dermablend, but I use toasted brown. You guys will probably see it backwards, but I use toasted brown for my skin tone. And then you kind of bake it with Dermablend has um, a banana powder. If you guys in makeup know what banana powder is, they also have banana powder or they have a tinted powder. I have the, if you can kind of see that, I have the tinted powder here. It's the warm saffron tinted powder. So anyway, um, and I usually set it with the powder, or I set it with the banana powder. The other things that I use, another good uh, vitiligo makeup is called Xanoderm. You guys can see that. This is for large areas, and this is for small areas of Xanoderm. And I use the warm bronze in Xanoderm. So, um, what are the difference between the two? Dermablend is a really high coverage, highly pigmented cream makeup. It's like foundation, but it's very high pigment, and you guys will see when I actually put it on because I am going to demonstrate for you what I usually use. Xanoderm is a Xanoderm is a is a like a stain. So it's like a skin stain, and you'll see that and how I use it. Xanoderm is really not good for on your face. Xanoderm is not good for large areas. Like I've tried to use the large area coverage on for Xanoderm, and it really streaks. It streaks a lot, and it doesn't look good. This looks if you're doing large areas of coverage on your face, you really should use Dermablend. But Xanoderm is very good for small areas that I will cover and blend in. And then if I'm using like a foundation, because if you use like a regular foundation that's not heavily pigmented, I tend to use um, my foundation that I really typically use is something like uh Bare what is it, Bare New, where am I thinking of, not Bare Essentials, but you know guys what I'm talking about. The powder foundation, or I use a MAC foundation if I want a fuller coverage. But it's still, when you even use those foundations, it'll just kind of make those white spots a little brown, but not necessarily, it won't give you full coverage. And so Xanoderm is really great because it browns those white spots. And then when I put a foundation like MAC or a powder foundation on top of it, then it really kind of blends in and gives me a nice seamless look to it. So I'm not gonna do a full face today. I don't have time for that, y'all. So we'll just I kind of will just do a demonstration about just how to do it. So let's start off with Xanoderm because I like Xanoderm for these small little spots like around my lip. Hmm. Let's put this back a little bit, and you guys can see my son was writing on the floor with this the other day. So a lot may not come out because he was using it to mark up the floor. There's nothing left there, but you can guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. It kind of gives you a stain, and it's not doing a good stain right now, honestly. But that's what I use it because it's more precise. And let me actually wet it up with and see if I can give it a better stain color. Yeah, there we go. So I have to replace. He decided to go and just mark up everything. So I like using Xanoderm just to, you know, do those small spots. It's a little bit more precise. Um, this camera isn't that great, but You guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. You can see the difference between the one and the other. Yeah, you can really see it now. And you kind of have to work with it. And once it dries, even though it looks like two different colors, once it dries, it really does stay. And that's what I like about it, because it doesn't wash off like Dermablend does. It stays, and then you can kind of just re-stain it, you know, every day. Okay. I promise you guys, it really does color better than this. So, but so that's what I do. I use it and I stain it, and then I use a makeup over it. Um, I also, what Zanderm does do is it works really well on body, like large body areas. It's kind of hard for me to see, but when I want to kind of fill in a large body area, it really works well for that. Like if I'm, doing a date night and I'm wearing a sexy dress, and if I have time, I'll do, and you can see how it does, um, in a really nice body area. I'm just going to rub this on my arm. And you guys can see that that's very significant. And it kind of matches, And once it dries, you see, you know, and it doesn't rub off. That's what I like also. So once it dries, it's not rubbing off of you. Um, I might have to take a lot of this off. So yeah, so I kind of use it like around here. I wanted to do this on a laptop, but it's not really giving me good color. So, so you guys can kind of see how this blends in, but that's a really good, that gives you a really good idea of what it does on large areas. This is really, because you see, you can just swipe it down, and it really covers up large areas if you wanted to cover up large areas. Not good on your face though. It really does streak on your face. You can kind of see that little streaky look. You do that on your face, it's not looking too hot. But this is really good for those small around your lips, or you know, you want to dot, things like that. So that's my little Xanoderm take. Xanoderm you can order online, and just to let you guys know, and I'm not paid by anybody. This is just what I found out that works best for me. Xanoderm you can order online. You can just is ZAN derm, so Xanoderm. Okay, and with this is drying up. See, this it's dry. It's not rubbing off, guys. I love it. That's why I love it, because a lot of vitiligo makeup and stuff, it rubs off and it's all over your clothes. I used to try those. Oh gosh, when I would like go on trips and go to the beach or stuff, I would try those self tanners and those things. I would have a little white cute shirt on, and those things would rub right off. So that's what I love about Xanoderm. Now you have to, I wouldn't necessarily use it for like your whole body, but like if you're in a cute dress or something, you just kind of want to even your tone up. Or if you don't care, don't care. But I really found it helpful for that. So for my face though, definitely you can use Dermablend for your body. I'm gonna show Dermablend on your body, but Dermablend is really, see how hard that is. So um I have a spatula and I usually scrape it up, um, because you have to kind of warm it up on your hands. So I'm gonna just scrape it up. It's like really hard. So you see, I'm like it kind of comes off like that. And I would put it on the back of my hand to warm it up. You guys can kind of see that. And then it warms up and it gets soft on the back of your hand. And the best thing you can do with Dermablend is dot. You don't use like a makeup applicator. You don't use it with the sponge. It doesn't really apply that well with the sponge. It really applies every Dermablend teacher or whatever says apply it with your finger. So you dot 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 dot, and you can see the great coverage that it gives you. And it's not really matching up very well because I'm so tan right now, and this is my normal. What you see on the Dermablend is my normal color when I'm not so dark. So imagine if you have to do this all the time. I got tired. So I was like, I don't feel like doing all this makeup all the time. So you guys get the idea, you know. Um, yeah. So it, and then if you need to go back over it to even up, of course, this is not good light. So of course, if you needed like a makeup mirror or something like that, but you guys get the idea. So just make sure that it's a good match. This is really helpful. If it's a good match, and I'm not gonna do a full face, but you guys can kind of see the difference between. So you can understand why I love, you know, Dermablend for my face. Like I said, I use Zanderm for little small areas only. Can't use it for a full coverage. If I have a lot of white on my face, I just use Dermablend only. But if you just have a little, white spots here, little white spots there, Xanoderm is good because you don't have to keep reapplying it and taking off and reapplying. You can just kind of dot and you can put your normal makeup on. So we'll just do a little bit more, a little bit down there. And then if you're a guy and you just want to kind of leave it there, I still need to uh, build up the color. But say if you're a guy and you don't want to add it, you're not doing any highlighting or anything like that, doing any serious makeup, um, you can just leave it and even out your skin tone just with the Dermablend only. But say if you are, you know, if you really, I found a lot of people with vitiligo really become very good makeup artists because they learn how to blend and cover their makeup really well. I mean, cover their vitiligo very well, and then they learn how to highlight because sometimes, definitely, when you do a dermablend, it's just like this whole one color, and it doesn't have any highlights to it. So you learn how to highlight. You learn how to become a really good at your makeup, which I'm not being really good right now, but um yeah, so if once you put the dermablend, the dermablend on, then you can do whatever, highlight, low light, um and put the rest of your makeup on. So that gives you a better idea. um I didn't put any makeup here because this is where kind of my skin is coming in. So most of my makeup is here. Of course, you guys remember that. So again, this is just to really give you a good idea of Dermablend on the face, and you can kind of, if we want to do, I don't like doing Dermablend on the body because it rubs off. Even if you put a setting powder on, it rubs off. But this gives you a good idea of how well it adds into everything. So even on top of the Zanderm. All right, so um, I think that's it, you guys. I wanted to, like I said, get my makeup in before my face became to a point, got to a point where I couldn't do makeup, and can give you a good, um, guys, a good idea of, you know, what to use. So next week, I think we will be talking about supplements. And I also want to address the psychological effects that vitiligo has on the person. That's huge. And I kind of wanted to save that for a little bit later. But I know I'm just looking looking all type of colorish here. Woo. But it wasn't it wasn't meant to look cute. It was just meant to show you how how to apply it and what each one is used for. But anyway, so we'll talk about the supplements, and we'll talk about the psychological effects of makeup, and I mean the psychological effects of vitiligo and how it affects you and things like that. So I will see you guys next week, and I hope you had a little bit of fun with me as I did this, and actually, learn something. If you want to comment and chime in, and maybe there's some other type of makeups or things that products that you use that you find a little bit better. But I think Dermablend's the main one, and Xanoderms are usually the main one. So if you guys know anything, you can comment below and definitely subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Okay, bye.